Hey, Week to Warrior, Devin here. For those of you who don't know me, I had insomnia for like 19 years, ongoing a bit, but I resolved it, and then I have helped coach other people. Since then, I host insomnia webinars. The next one is this Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. Register down below at www.weektowarrior.org/insomnia. Awesome. Your questionnaire, community, everything you need to fix your insomnia. It's all going to be in the webinar. So without further ado, our video though. This is a fun video because it's on a topic that's near and dear to me: wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So American jiu-jitsu and jiu-jitsu as a whole needs American wrestling to train against to perfect itself as a grappling style. It's a very nerdy video for people who train jiu-jitsu and wrestling. If you don't train jiu-jitsu and wrestle, try to appreciate it. But if you don't understand most of what I'm talking about, that is honestly understandable. But try. I'll try to teach this at a universal level because that's always a good skill. I should work on my teaching skill, and you can work on your focus and understanding skill. Maybe learn some cool stuff. Definitely learn some cool stuff about fighting. So, for those of you who don't know, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is the art of submitting your opponent, making him tap pretty much by any means necessary. And American wrestling is the art of pinning and controlling and taking down your opponent and holding him on the ground on his back against his will. These two styles need each other because to submit someone, you do not need to be in the top position. And to be in the top position and apply pressure has the advantage of gravity. If I'm on top of you, and we're both reasonably skilled grapplers, I can negate everything you're doing while you negate everything I'm doing. But that whole time, because I am on top, you are carrying my weight, and thus you will tire. You will fatigue, and a fatigued opponent is always easier to beat. So for an equal skill level, I can simply take the top position, hold you down until you get tired, and then submit you easily. So that skill of taking the top position is so critically important. Wrestlers, even much less experienced wrestlers, less experienced in the art of submission, will oftentimes dominate with some submission grappling experience, much more experienced submission grapplers, because of this ability to take down from standing and assume and maintain the top position with pressure. The reason I say that Brazilian Jiu Jitsu needs American wrestling is because Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is a higher form of grappling. It allows for more possibilities and is therefore a more sophisticated expression of the skills of grappling, and allows for more grappling dominance because of its multifaceted and open-ended rule set. American Folkstyle wrestling, on the other hand, is an exceptionally open rule set sport compared with every other sport and most grappling sports, but still it is limited insofar as you cannot use breaking or lethal holds in American Folkstyle wrestling. So you essentially have this nerfed but hyper-aggressive, hyper-fast-paced, hyper-dominant style of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then you have on the other end this very lazy, bottom-playing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style that's honestly not that exciting or effective in combat. You want to be able to take down, dominate the takedown, control on top, and then submit. You want to have a great bottom game, obviously, but you need that aggressive top game because that's really where the dominance comes in. And ultimately, if I can just pick you up and spike you on your head, which is that's more wrestling, and for the nerds out there, that's very much Greco-Roman wrestling is the absolute specialist of spiking people on their heads. Judo a little bit less so, but these grappling arts specialize in throwing from neutral. You need to be able to do that, because if I can just pick you up, I mean, look, for fighting, I mean, there's like a rock right there. I can just slam your head in the rock. It's like another rock right over there, and like, you know what I mean? Like, these rocks in hard places are very common. So for fighting, I just slam your head into the rock. It's much easier to do than a knockout punch too, because knockout punch I have to like clip you right in the chin. This, I just grab you, and then you can't move because I've grabbed you, and then I just walk you over this, boom, right? It's pretty brutal, so don't fight people, guys. Be responsible. Only fight people if you absolutely have to. If you do have to fight people, make sure you win. But anyway, it's very windy, obviously. But anyway, though, so this ability to spike people on their heads is lethal, but two experienced grapplers will often not be able to land that perfect throw simply because it's much easier. If I'm not trying to necessarily take you down, I'm just trying to drag you to the bottom, drag you down. I can take a dominant guard position and then immediately take your back, take mount, sweep you, or submit you from there. That's a much more effective style of grappling than, against other grapplers, against pretty much everyone, than simply specializing in the head spiking, because I've wrestled like black belt judo players, like black belts in judo. I've wrestled them, and I wasn't trying to take it down, but I'm just negating what they're doing. And they can't really throw me because they have really good wrestling. They just can't really throw me. So it's like, and like I get the takedown, and then they'll sweep me or something. But it's like, if I'm not opening myself up because I know that you're a really, really good judoka, so I just like, no, you're not going to get thrown, then they're not really going to throw me. And even like jiu-jitsu players, when I'm wrestling them, even if they're not that great, if they're just trying to pull guard and trying to not get taken down, it's fairly decent. Like, if it works, I mean, I'll just pass your guard immediately because I've prepared for that. But like, you have to be able to dominate the takedown, but in a jiu-jitsu fashion. In American wrestling and training with American wrestlers, as all the jiu-jitsu guys do, because of all the American wrestlers who go into jiu-jitsu, is perfecting jiu-jitsu, because it's giving jiu-jitsu the one thing it lacked, which is takedown dominance. And the only reason it lacked that is because it was so, you didn't need to. You know what I mean? Like, jiu-jitsu is really dominant. It really is very dominant. Chael Sonnen has a video where he talks about how American folk style wrestling is the greatest style, and I agree with him. But American folk style wrestling mixed with jiu-jitsu with a dominant submission focus, like 80% jiu-jitsu, 20% submission wrestling, or wrestling, or like even 20% jiu-jitsu, 80% wrestling. You need to mix them though. I think the jiu-jitsu is ultimately better though, 80% jiu-jitsu, 20% wrestling, because again, two experienced wrestlers can negate each other. And in that case, the jiu-jitsu player will have dominance, because if we both understand wrestling and we both understand submissions and we're on the ground, jiu-jitsu is dominant because jiu-jitsu is more conservative in terms of energy. So jiu-jitsu will then be wrestling over the long haul. So this is why I'm very, very excited about the future of grappling. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys.